The Federal Reserve just hinted that interest rates will remain higher for longer. The questions are, how high will they go and for how long? Stay tuned for all the latest updates right after this. Hi, I'm Kevin Grolig. I'm a real estate agent with Compass located in Potomac, Maryland. Thanks once again for checking out the latest video in my series, Real Kevin. I specialize in helping good folks relocate to Montgomery County, relocate within Montgomery County, and also relocate out of Montgomery County. So with all that being said, let's talk about some of the things that you really need to know about. Last week, the Fed decided not to raise interest rates at the current time. However, they did hint that they would be raising it one more time before the year end to curb inflation. They implied another raise of 0.25 basis points before the end of the year. For perspective, a basis point is 1/100th of 1 percentage point. Now, most housing experts are less concerned about the Fed raising the interest rates one more time before the end of the year, but more concerned over what they're talking about over the next coming years. Fed policymakers signaled at their last September meeting to expect interest rates to stay higher for longer, adjusting policy rates a 0.5% higher for 2024 and 2025 in their latest projections. Consequently, many housing experts expect rates to stay elevated throughout 2023 and entering into 2024. Of course, this begs the question, when will the housing market recover? Keith Gumbinger, vice president at a mortgage website, hsh.com, states for a housing recovery to occur, several factors need to take place. The best outcome would be for housing inventory to turn considerably higher. This additional inventory, in turn, would ease the upward pressure of home prices, leveling them off or perhaps settling them in from peak levels. And of course, rates would also need to cool off. But Gumpinger also said, don't hope that rates cool too quickly. Rapidly cooling rates could create a huge surge of demand, which would wipe away any excess inventory. Of course, all of this would cause home values to surge once again. Gumpinger also states it's better that rates cool off at more of a metered pace, incrementally improving buyer opportunities over a stretch of time. Personally, I agree with Gumbinger's assessment. Inventory is way too low, and it won't increase dramatically until rates decrease. My opinion is interest rates need to hit around 5% to see homeowners start putting their homes on the market again. Of course, lower interest rates mean higher demand, so there's definitely a balancing act that needs to take place. Don't expect this to happen overnight. Gumpinger and my assessment were also backed up by NAR chief economist Lawrence Yun. In a simple statement, Yun stated, it's clear that increased housing inventory and better interest rates are essential to revive the housing market. One of the other things that we're also seeing in the market right now, especially for first-time home buyers, is the struggle for housing affordability. Unfortunately, home affordability sank to its lowest level in nearly 30 years, according to the Real Housing Price Index released by First American Financial Corporation. To put affordability challenge into context, a homeowner living in a typical metropolitan area during the second quarter of 2023 needed to earn at least $99,600 to afford monthly housing payments, up from $52,600 3 years earlier. This is according to the Harvard Joint Center for Housing Studies data. So far, it sounds pretty bleak out there. However, let's take a look into the future forecast for housing. While some pandemic boom towns like Las Vegas and Phoenix have seen value starting to plunge, the West and Southwest regions have taken the prize for the largest plunge by region. National statistics still show the real estate market and values trending up as a whole. Locally in Montgomery County, Maryland, we've seen a rise in home values of 3.22% between August of 2022 and August of 2023. What I'm seeing is huge jumps, usually Q1 through Q2, followed by a softening in Q3 and Q4. Once again, this to me also shows why for home buyers, you might come out in the marketplace in that Q3, Q4 period when things are a little bit softer. My opinion is, unless we see interest rates really jack up, above that 8% range into 8.5%, 9%, to expect that we see a market that still remains a little sluggish, through the end of the year, but takes off again at the very beginning of 2024. So that's it for today. What do you think? Not going to say that you necessarily love the message I'm bringing, but it is the facts, and facts we just all need to kind of deal with, whether we're either in or out of the real estate market. I realize all of this can be very confusing, so if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me direct by text at 240-793-7495. Once again, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, place a comment, share this video, and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks once again for checking out the latest video in my series, Real Kevin. See you next week.